There was a man in the city of Ilorin named Adebayo. He was 55 years old, a man people described as blessed beyond measure. When you walked past his grand mansion, you could not help but notice the tall gates, the shining cars parked neatly in his compound, and the smell of wealth that seemed to hang in the air. His name carried weight in the city. Mr. Adebayo had so many lands across town, some in the heart of Ilorin, some far on the outskirts. He had houses in different neighborhoods and cars that most people could only dream of owning. He had everything a man could pray for, but one thing was missing in his life: he had never married. Nobody knew exactly why. Some said it was because he was too focused on making money when he was younger. Others whispered that maybe he had loved once and been betrayed. But Adebayo never explained. He simply lived alone in his big house, surrounded by servants, and focused on his business. People respected him, but they also feared him. For Mr. Adebayo was not just a wealthy man, he was also the kind of man people went to when they were desperate for money. He was like a bank in human form, lending money to those who needed it, but always taking something valuable as collateral. If you had no money to repay him, Adebayo would take your land, your shop, or whatever you had pledged. It didn't matter if it had been in your family for generations. His rules were simple: if you borrow from me, you must return what you owe. In that same city lived another family, Mr. James, his wife Mrs. James, and their only daughter Chioma. Unlike Adebayo's house, their home was small and humble. It stood near the edge of the town, where the air smelled faintly of farm soil and fresh water from the nearby stream. Mr. James was a hard-working man, tall and lean from years of labor. He worked on the farm day and night just to make ends meet. Mrs. James was a gentle woman with warm eyes, the kind of mother who would sacrifice anything for her child. Their daughter, Chioma, was the light of their lives. She had been a bright, beautiful girl from birth, with big brown eyes that sparkled when she smiled. She was their only child, and they did everything they could to give her the best. From the time she was small, Chioma knew her parents were not rich, but she also knew they loved her deeply. She would often follow them to the farm during school holidays, helping her mother plant yams or carry baskets of vegetables, never complaining about the hard work. When Chioma finished secondary school, the whole family celebrated. And when she received her admission letter to the university, it was as though God himself had come down to bless their home. But joy, as they say, sometimes comes with hidden sorrow. University life was expensive. At first, Mr. and Mrs. James managed to pay her fees. They sold farm produce, worked extra hours, and cut back on their own needs. But by the time Chioma reached her second year, money became scarce. The farm was not doing well, and they've sold some of their farmland. One evening, Mrs. James called her husband into their small bedroom. The dim light from the kerosene lamp flickered on their tired faces. "My dear," she began softly, "we have done our best for Chioma. We have sent her this far, but we cannot stop now. If we leave her halfway, all our efforts will be wasted." Mr. James sighed deeply. "I know, but where will we get the money? You know we have sold half of our farmland." "I have been thinking," Mrs. James said carefully. "You know Mr. Adebayo, he helps people in times like this. Maybe we can go to him and borrow the money. When Chioma finishes and gets a job, she can repay him." Mr. James hesitated. Everyone knew Adebayo was not a man to play with. But the thought of his daughter's education ending abruptly was too painful. Finally, he nodded. "All right. I will go and see him tomorrow." The next morning, Mr. James dressed in his cleanest shirt and trousers. He walked to Adebayo's mansion and knocked at the gate. The security man let him in. Inside, Mr. Adebayo sat in his living room, dressed in an expensive agbada, sipping tea. Mr. James greeted him respectfully. "Sir, I came here for help," he said. "My daughter is in school. We have spent all we have, and now there is nothing left. I am begging you, please, lend me money so she can finish her education. I will pay you back, Mr. James said. Adebayo studied him for a moment, then nodded slowly. All right, I will lend you the money. But make sure you fulfill your promise. I do not joke with my money. Mr. James promised. The money was sent to Chioma, and she returned to school. 4 years later, she graduated. The family expected that she would soon find a job and begin to repay Mr. Adebayo. But 2 years passed. There was no job. Chioma applied everywhere, offices, companies, schools, but the answer was always the same: we will get back to you. One day, Mr. Adebayo heard that Chioma had finished school long ago and still, his money had not been returned. He sent for Mr. James. When Mr. James arrived, Adebayo's face was hard. I don't joke with my money. I want it back. Mr. James lowered his head. Sir, things did not go the way we thought. Please, give us more time. But Adebayo leaned forward. If you can't pay, then give me something else. Something of equal value. That night, Mr. James sat with his wife. His voice trembled as he spoke. I have decided, we will give Chioma to Adebayo as his wife. That way, the debt will be settled. Mrs. James gasped. But, she is young, and he is old enough to be her father. What choice do we have? Mr. James replied. If we don't do this, he will take our remaining small land. The next morning, they told Chioma. She stared at them in shock. Daddy, no. I can't marry him. He is like a father to me. Her mother's eyes were filled with tears. My daughter, we borrowed this money for you. Please, think of us. Mr. Adebayo has no wife and plenty of money. You will be able to take care of us. Chioma cried day and night, but nothing she said could change their minds. A week later, Mr. Adebayo came to take his new wife. The town celebrated the marriage with music and dancing. But if anyone had looked closely at the bride, they would have seen that her smile did not reach her eyes. That's the end of the story. Do you think things like this still happen in our world today? If you were in Chioma's position, would you agree to marry Adebayo just to save your family from debt? Do you think Mr. James was right or wrong for giving his daughter to Adebayo? What would you have done differently if you were Chioma's parents? Should money and debts ever be more important than a young woman's happiness? Tell me in the comment section, I will reply you. Please keep supporting us by subscribe, like and share this video. I have other videos on this channel too, please watch. What kind of stories do you want? Do you want mysterious story? Do you want scary stories? Like horrific stories? Or do you want love stories? Let me know in the comment section and I'm going to bring it to you because I love you guys so much. Thanks for watching. See you guys on my next video and don't forget to tell me the type of stories you want. Bye.